Hello, everyone. This is Simon with AvaTrade. We will start maybe in a minute or two. We'll give a chance for other people to come in as they're running late. So stick around. We'll start shortly. Thank you. Okay, let's start. Whoever comes in later, they'll come in. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depends where you are. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and we will start our roundtable trading discussion webinar. And if you don't mind, please let me know that you can hear me and that you could see the slide saying AvaTrade on it. Just type in the question section that you can hear me and that you can see the presentation. That would be great. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's start. This is me again. I can see some new people in and some returning customers. Happy to hear everyone, or to see everyone for that matter. My name is Simon Friedman, and I'm one of the senior account managers at AvaTrade. My trading experience altogether is probably almost 23 years. June will be 23 years since I started my trading career. I was a day trader back on Wall Street in the prop companies, and I did it for about 11 years. And after that, I moved on to educate and mentor other traders. And currently, I'm very happy to work at AvaTrade and assist our customers. The agenda of the webinar, and I hope it's going to be an active one. We come here to ask specific questions on specific assets. We try to discuss it together and then look at the chart and try to analyze that specific instrument. For instance, somebody asks, what do you think about gold or euro or anything else, oil? Then we try to discuss it, and then we go into the chart and try to see technically what it is. If there's any fundamentals that I know, I'll share with you as well. Okay. These are the channels of AvaTrade. That would be great for you to follow if you're not yet. There's Telegram, there's Twitter, and my favorite YouTube channel that's being updated on a daily basis. And the webinar, including this webinar as well, is being recorded and posted on YouTube. So you can subscribe. You can click on that bell so you get notification on the new things coming in. Risk warning, everything we do here is educational. You can find a full risk warning disclosure document at avatrade.com. Okay, let's move on. This is the MT4 platform. I also have MT5 if we need it. And let's start with the question. And please feel free to ask your questions. We'll discuss it. We'll try to make it fun and try to make it practical. So guys, please go ahead. And you know the rule. If we run out of questions, we stop the webinar. Otherwise, we can go for 45 minutes up to an hour and try to see and benefit as many people as possible with their questions. I'm ready whenever you are. What's the first question? Go ahead, guys. NASDAQ, okay. Thank you, Abdulaziz. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ. Okay, so before we go into discussing it, the way we do it here, and I try to explain it every time we're having this webinar, as a trader and definitely in life as well, it's good to be able to make our own decisions. It's good to listen to other people. It's good to pay attention to opinions of others, especially in trading. And we need to get to the point that we collect the information, but the final decision in that trade, the specific trade, it comes from us. So this way, we take the credit, we take the responsibility, we don't blame anyone, and we don't rely on anyone's opinion. And I'll just give you an example. Some people use trading signals and they're great. Some are great, some are not. And if people have no idea what those signals are based on and what's the logic behind it, and just blindly following it, it's good as long as they work. But the moment they stop working, the person feels lost. So it's really good to develop that skill to become an independent trader or independent thinker, for that matter. So and that's like a long approach to me asking Abdulaziz, what do you think about NASDAQ? What's your opinion about NASDAQ? Please share with me. You can just write a short sentence. You think it's going higher, you think it's going lower, and maybe if you would like to share the reason, it would be nice as well. And then I will try to go through it and try to analyze what's going on. And we'll also do it in light of latest events and upcoming events as well. So if you'd like to share with us what do you think, that would be really amazing. Please go ahead, just type in the questions. Okay, so Abdulaziz is saying that 12,640 he sees as the max. Okay, so let's take a look. So you said 12,640. Okay, so that's right here. I really don't know why you think that's the high. I personally don't see any strong levels. Just besides that, a few times you could be right. Actually, a few times we stopped around those levels, but not so clear. I would say that 12,900, it's a clearer one. So you could see we had support here and support here, and then we hit the resistance around there. So let's your low level is 11,071. Yeah, but that's far away. That's 1,000 points away. Let's first think about the fundamentals. By the way, in about 2 hours, less than 2 hours, we have the announcements from the Feds as far as the interest rate decision, which will be followed by the monetary statement, and then 30 minutes later, the most important thing is coming out, and that's the press conference with Jerome Powell, with the chairman, and everybody's waiting for that because I just go into it a little bit so we all on the same page. It's pretty much set. It's already, some say that it's priced in that we're having a 0.25% increase in interest rate by Feds tonight. But what it's totally unknown is what's the next action. What's the interest rate decision in the following meeting? When will they stop raising and possibly start cutting the rates? And in general, how the Feds are looking into the current economic situation and how they are aggressive in the actions going forward or not. So that's the fundamental. And I think we'll know first when decision comes, and then during the press conference, we'll see a lot of actions, a lot of volatility. So if you take a look at the daily chart on NASDAQ, as you could see, we had the double bottom here at 10,762, and that was in December. We started this run in the first week of January or the second week of January, and we ran. By the way, when I was preparing for my other webinar, I'm doing a weekly trading plan webinar on Sundays. I just found very interesting fact. Some analysts kind of comparing this January for NASDAQ for the January of 2001. In 2001, that was the best month for NASDAQ. NASDAQ ran up 12.2%. And it followed by the dropped all the year, and of course it was the burst of the bubble. The dot-com bubble happened. I was right there when it happened, and the market just kept on going lower. So after that gain in January of 12.2%, till the end of the year, Nasdaq sold 30%, and then it continued in 2002, and it went much lower at that point, all the way till October of 2002. So we're talking about 11 months plus 10, like 20 months, 21 months. We kept on going lower on Nasdaq. So some analysts are predicting the same thing now, because Nasdaq, it's the second best month that Nasdaq had, and I think it ran up 10 or 11% in January, and we closed on the highs. So that's as far as the fundamentals. So we have Feds, we have in general fear of recession, and that's what kind of pushing the markets. And we had the run. We closed January very strong, and we'll see what happens today. And if we talk technically speaking, take a look. I think I would say the next level will be the high of this spike, and that was 12,383.5. We tried last week. We almost got there. So on the weekly chart, we are between the 200 moving average and a 50 moving average on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, as you could see it clear, this was the spike. We hit this level that I marked in green, and we were a little bit shy last week on it. So we'll see what today brings. I think today Fed's decision would really make that move on Nasdaq one way or another. And for that matter, for the other things. And of course, if you take all three indices of the US, S&Ps, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq got beaten up the worst last year, and it bounced the best this year, as there's hope in the tech stocks, and some of them had good reports, and that would move Nasdaq very strongly up in January. Okay, I hope that answer covers it. Let's move to the next question, please. What we're discussing next, please, guys, go ahead. Feel free. What's the next market we'll discuss? Anyone? Like I said, if we won't get any questions, I'm not going to be happy about it, but I will have to wrap up the webinar. You're very welcome, Abdulaziz. Okay, you're Nasdaq market. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Guys, let's give it another 5 seconds. I'm waiting for that question. Don't tell me that you all were asking about Nasdaq and then you're satisfied just with that answer. Let's come up with another question. I'll be happy to discuss another market. Okay. Thinking of natural gas and gasoline, do you think prices might pick up? You know, the first thing comes to mind is a funny answer. Whatever goes down might come up, and otherwise, other way around, whatever goes up might come down. Very low today, yes, Peter, you're absolutely right. I tell you the truth, I don't follow gasoline prices, but natural gas, we can take a look into. Natural gas has been, you're absolutely right, it's been killed, if you can say it in one word, and continues to be killed. So let's try to speak a little bit of history. You're saying it's low today. It's not really just today. As you could see, we've been going down since December 11th. we didn't have a positive week. And if you look at the daily chart, it's slowly bleeding down. We had a little bit of a level here after the gap. We looked like we stopped, but today we just broke through the lows. So natural gas, one thing, and that's why I'm gonna stick to natural gas. If I have a second, I'll take a look at gasoline as well, because I know a lot of fundamentals in natural gas. As this is one of the markets that I follow. On gasoline, I have zero knowledge as far as fundamentals. So just blindly looking at the chart, it wouldn't be the same. So few things, again, when I prepared for my other webinar research, that natural gas, the main reason that it's been going down is the weather related reason. And they actually made statistics, and they said that January, they took weather in New York City, and the weather was, or the temperature was 10 degrees higher. I think it's Fahrenheit, 10 degrees higher in average. So that kind of makes the winter a warm winter, and that they say it's one of the reasons why natural gas is going down. And we've heard it in the past that natural gas was really sensitive, and it's always been sensitive to the weather, especially the winter. So it kind of indication the cold winter, more gas will be used, and so on. Also, I think the downtrend in natural gas increased with all the talks and fears on recession, and that together with crude oil as well. If you take crude oil, it didn't have a steep fall, but it's also been weak. So that's also, natural gas is not just used in heating, used a lot in manufacturing and other things, or other kind of areas of business. So as the fear of recession start kicking in, affected also natural gas. And at some point, definitely it will stop at some point, and you know the laws of the market, when it becomes attractive and the price screams, come and buy me, the buyers will be there. But take a look, they tried. This was the big point here at around 490. That was the previous low. They tried. You see, few days they tried to stop that fall, and then disappointment kicked in, and they just continued, and so on. This was another attempt. We had a double bottom here with the day break, and then we broke that one as well. We had another attempt at around 310. A couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days, a fight, and then we lost it again. Then we started the week with the gap down, and it didn't try to close the gap, and today we have a big move to the downside. So when that bounce will happen, I don't think anybody knows. Some people like to buy on the way down and kind of dollar cost average, hoping that one day it's going to shoot up, because things like natural gas sometimes it doesn't give ability to enter, and it spikes really fast, like it did here, so there is a tendency to that, and let's see what happens. We are approaching a highly a busy area right here. Take a look. This is the weekly chart. So if you were a potential buyer, this would look really attractive to you, right? But it's hard to be objective. And if somebody is already in the position and sitting into losses, this would be really hopeful, looking at this saying, okay, finally we're getting to the support. But if, you know, the old school trader like I am, I learned a lot of lessons, sometimes very painfully. And one of them said, if it goes down, there's a reason for it. Okay, the big money is pushing it down. Yes, they could be loading to the long positions on the way, and then they're going to shoot. But as of now, take a look. A week after week, a day after day, we go down. So there are different kind of traders. Once they say, I want to be first in because I don't want to leave the profit on the table. So I want to be first in, and then you know, when others will get in on that certain level, I'm already going to be in profit. Other traders are more cautious and more calculative, and they say, I don't want to be the first. I'll let others break their heads, and then when I see the proof that this is the bottom and it's being retested, like something like over here, but it failed to work. You see, we went down, then we went up, then went down again, we went up, and then but we broke through it again. So we want to see, you know, double testing of the support, even triple testing of support, but we want to see some price action with the large candle to the upside, and then correction, and then breaking to the tops. So as of now, in a simple language, natural gas is going down, and there's a reason it's going down. Weather is one of them. Another thing is geopolitically. You know, it's so unclear with the Russia-Ukraine war, and U.S. Kind of supplying that liquid gas to Europe and other things and other routes. We don't really know what's specifically or exactly happening in the background of that natural gas business. So we'll see. We'll see how things are, and we'll see at some point. Definitely, natural gas will find its level where the buyers or the strong buyers might step in. And like I said, some people will be already long, some people will be waiting for that confirmation. Okay. I hope that helped, Peter. Okay. Do we have another question, guys? Thank you for participating. I'm very excited. You're asking very, very good questions. You're welcome, Peter. Always welcome. Okay, do we have another question? Anybody? Okay. While you're getting ready with the questions, you want to bring up gasoline. Yeah, like I said, gasoline actually looks similar to crude oil. It's clearly trading in the range. And we just bounce off this top of the range on the way down. And that's also 100 moving average that we just hit. And we're on the way down, possibly retesting this level, which is on the same, literally the same level as the 200 moving average on the weekly chart. Okay, just for you, Peter, just to look at the gasoline. And on the daily chart, we're sitting on 100 moving average here. By the way, I just read an interesting article about Russia and the world putting a tap or top price for the Russian oil, and India has been benefiting a lot. What they do, they are India is buying cheap Russian oil, Ural oil, they call it, and they have a lot of refineries. I never knew about it. So they use those refineries and work out those barrels of Russian oil and create different kind of fuel, including diesel, and then they resell it to Europe and other countries. So they make a very nice profit by doing that. They're buying oil cheap and then transform it into different fuels and resell it. That's a nice business they built there. But as I said, with the Russia-Ukraine war, Russia is really under a strong sanctions, and I don't really know. I don't think anybody knows, besides people that are ruling it, how it affects exactly the price of natural gas and oil as well. Okay, guys, do we have a question? Let's wait 3 more seconds. If I get a question, we'll go into it. If not, I'm going to call it a day. Anyone? Okay. Guys, I want to thank everyone for participating. I want to wish everyone the rest of the week that should be successful. And please watch the events. We have 3 key events. One today is the Fed's interest rate decision from US. Then we have tomorrow Bank of European Central Bank and the Bank of England also coming out with those decisions. And of course, the NFPs on Friday. And all the best. We'll be back next week. Try to be on time so we can start all together. And I wish you all the best. Take care, guys.